So halfway through, no, actually not at all. 2 kilometers in, and everyone's already exhausted.
I'm not.
But at least the weather.
Okay.
Well, I am exhausted, and the weather is absolutely. Well, we don't speak about it, but pretty nice. So this is it. We're doing the ridge walk. I should probably hold on with 2 hands, which I will do in a second. Well, it's not too bad. So Crib Goch is done. We now continue our scramble. Well, actually not much of a scramble anymore. It's more of a hike. And we're a bit late. It took about an hour longer than I anticipated, but should be there soon. Quite the queue. Everybody seems to be happy.
Wait.
There's a queue. Off to the next peak. To the halfway point. Everyone is absolutely exhausted. Nobody wants to keep walking anymore, but we still have to go another 12.5 kilometers, and the best of all of it is that the longest and steepest ascent is just before us. So goodbye to our knees. A quick statement, how are you feeling?
Fantastic. I'm looking forward to that, that's one thing.
And the 2 British guys, of course. How are you feeling?
I'm great.
How are you feeling? How are you feeling?
Great.
Great.
Yeah, once I got my feet in the water.
Marcelo, how are you feeling? Good? Alright.
I will have no fingernails. By the
Okay. So apparently everybody's feeling great. So I guess I feel great as well. So we're now off to the second part of the first day. And this is the hardest part. Hence I took Tom to my side and wanted to interview him.
Singled out for no specific reason.
How are you feeling, Tom? How are your knees?
Do you know what? Very beginning of the trip, I actually thought I was going to die. I thought that was going to be it. By the time we got to the ridge, that's when things got interesting. There was more scrambling, more climbing, something I actually ended up really enjoying.
Tom was flying over the ridge,
zooming
like a
across.
ballerina.
Didn't even die, it was amazing. Then we got our heads stuck in the clouds. We ended up getting up to proper Snowdon proper. And since then it's all been downhill, which is a lot harder than it sounds. But I have to admit, this bit, the kind of ominous ex-late mine, you know, kind of like rock in the distance, it's ominous to say the least. So I think this is going to be tricky.
So we've walked for 9 hours 40 minutes straight. We've lost half the team. We're lost on our way. We don't know if the slate mine is the mountain or not. We just say it's not, and we're gonna skip that peak because there's absolutely no way to get there.
Yeah, we definitely can't do that.
And we're gonna do another peak instead, and then we will have 15 anyway. And in the end, we will see whether we were wrong after all, and the slate mine was never a peak, or if it was. But it's getting quite late, and we still have like 4 hours to go. So we're heading home now, all the way over these ridges. That's a peak, that's a peak, and then over there's a peak, and then when we go down to the camp, it's the last one. Unbelievable. We finally made it. So since we did that massive detour earlier today, we now have to skip one peak because it's actually getting really late, and from here it's probably not safe anymore. But we did all but one peak. I can just show you which one it is, and then you might understand why we're skipping this one. So let me turn this around. So essentially it's that peak there on the left, and that's just a bit too much at this point. Also, our team seems to have dissolved. I just flew the drone. We're only 4 people left. The other guys all went home. They're gonna pick us up downstairs now. Well, down in the valley. Yeah, but nevertheless, this was amazing so far. I mean, like, absolutely stunning, everything. It was pretty brutal, pretty exhausting, but the views are worth it. So it's day 2 now. We just have the first hour or hour and a half behind us. Today's hike is much easier. It's just one very steep ascent and then we just walk on the ridge. So it'll be much easier, but that's also very welcome since we have no energy left really. As you can see in this prime example.
Good to go.
Down there, well, let me swap this around. Down there on the left is our campsite, and over there these mountains are the ones that we climbed yesterday, except for the one here on the left. And now we're basically on the opposite side, and the path will lead us to the sea in the end.
They were just lying. Try and take it.
Although I'm just using.
So we finally made it to the very last really steep hill, or the really steep ascent, and now we're gonna do a little detour just to catch all the peaks on today's trip so we don't fail again. But the view is beautiful from here, and after the detour we'll be going just downhill from now, and then there might be one more peak just in the back over there. This peak over there that's left, and then I think we made it. The team is going strong. I think we might split for the detour quickly, but everything is looking nice. The weather is always changing, but we have mostly sun. So we finished the detour, now came back up to the to the earlier mountain or peak, and now we have 2 more peaks left, and then we're actually done. We're considering of finishing the full 15 peaks, but let's see when we get back to the camp. But today was really good and very enjoyable. but we just came from there, and now we're heading over there, all the way to the sea in the back, and then back to camp. Yeah. Peak 14, how are you feeling?
I'm great.
Oh, he's great. James gonna pee. Ethan, how are you feeling?
Great, and I'll feel even greater when the kiddies mix comes out of the bag.
So over there is the last peak, the final peak, and down there in the valley you might see them, the two dots. These are Tom and Joe, and we're gonna catch up on them now.
When's dinner?
I've been promised a fry up tomorrow morning.
Why are you not driving already? Just get moving. Every passing minute is another minute it gets towards closing.
Okay, closing remarks.
Literally everything hurts. My foot is more blistered than skin. I'm covered in burns. But it was actually a really cool day. I enjoyed it.
Okay, so you say don't you? Yeah.
Your last
And then what's the response?
last remarks.
Tired. Hello.
Any last remarks? Any last words?
Oh, I hate these flies.
I got my chippy.
Hey!
And I got my wine.
The flies are terrible.
And the wine is good.
So, actually, the
I second the wine.
the work is
Okay.
The fake taste of magnesium tablets in the background.
Could you give me the wine?
So we've finally made it. We're back to camp, and we're just preparing soup, and we had fish and chips and some burgers, and now we're just waiting for the water to boil. And I guess that was it.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like,
Oh, fuck! Ah! Nice. See, we need to figure out a way of doing that uphill. And then that'll be a dream. Oh.